Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. We are doing a very special Black Friday bonus episode here on the Wrestling Fans Insight. We are actually going to talk about WWE Survivor Series, which, for the first time on the WWE main roster premium live event, we are going to have two War Game matches. And I feel that is a very fitting for the Survivor Series themes, because War Games, first introduced back in the Jim Crockett days, was pretty much like the two-ring match. It was surrounded in a steel cage, and it basically the only way you could win is getting your opposing team to either submit or surrender. Unfortunately, though, they modified that format to where now you can actually win by pinfall as well, which I don't like that. I think War Games should always be the way to finish it is make your opponents submit or surrender. And sorry, being a little rude, I forgot to introduce my co-host. William has returned. How you doing?
A lot better than a week ago. You know I've been through a lot of different illnesses over the past 2 years, so
yeah,
it's kind of shaky. We're going to get everything figured out hopefully by Monday.
Yeah, well, more power to you. Thank you for gutting it out on this special one today, and hopefully we get you feeling a little bit better here shortly. And now we're going to introduce our other two co-hosts, our official teammates. Heather, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Just glad Thanksgiving's over, and I'll be glad when Christmas is over too.
Okay, you little Scrooge. Jeez. Alrighty.
I don't do holidays.
She has her Amazon wish list, though. Don't worry about it.
Well, if you're smart, that's the best way to do it right now. So, but of course, me being in the retail field, being in the sales, yeah, I can understand Heather's pain too. So I'm right there with you. Just maybe not as brash as the way you put it. It's almost like we already started talking about Theory and Roman Reigns. Jesus. And introducing our other colleague, Carlos. Carlos, how are you?
Good. I'm definitely in the holiday, let's say the trenches. Let's call it that. I'm just grateful. It sucks to work on the holidays, but at the same time, I'm grateful to be healthy back. Not that, that I'm recovered from my really bad flu. And I'm just grateful to be here. So thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no problem. I was going to ask how you're feeling, if you're any better.
Oh, yeah, much better. Yeah, so definitely just taking it slow. The good part was, I lost 7 pounds while I was sick, so I'll take that any day of the week. I'm doing a lot better. Just getting back to normal. I haven't been to the gym or anything like that yet, but definitely feeling a lot better. Looking forward to some good sleep eventually.
Good deal. And thanks for rubbing in that 7-pound loss. So,
Hey, you got to look at the positives in the situation, and that's what I'm trying to focus on.
Well, that's true. That's true. Now I got to work my 13 I probably gained yesterday, so.
Right. I'm trying to do, because without eating, because I didn't eat for a couple of days, my hunger's slow, so I'm trying to keep it that way. So I didn't pig out too much yesterday and stuff like that, even though I came home to 4 different plates from 4 different, because my mom's from a family of 10. My grandma has 10 kids, so 4 different people brought us plates over, So I was trying to just nibble a little bit, not eat too much, because I don't want to bring back to where I eat a lot, getting that fullness back. So trying to keep it down to where I, can get full off less, Again, trying to make a positive out of a negative situation.
Well, hey, the worst case scenario, you can stretch it out, so.
Exactly. I got a week's worth of food. I'm good to go, yeah.
And you should have seen the look William gave me when I said I gained 13 pounds. Yes, that was quite the exaggeration, but.
Hope you got that good 2-ply in this bathroom then.
Well, I will say, my wife having COVID, it's kind of had us isolate for celebrating with the families, so. Yeah, that's the only part that's kind of sucked this year, but my in-laws were nice enough to shower us with a great Thanksgiving meal, and so we were very blessed for them to bring that over and let us eat it. So.
Oh yeah, well I broke the family curse.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
How'd you do that?
I made it to dessert.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Yeah, Will doesn't very often make it to dessert. He usually has a plate and he's done. So
Nice.
that's a new accomplishment. That's, I think, what the gamers call an achievement unlocked or something.
Yep. Nobody else in
Level
the
up,
family
level
made
up.
it. Nobody else in the family made it.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. They're not feeling sick now, are they? Or
No, it's weird because I actually decided to break character a little bit and I baked up a peach cobbler and they didn't touch it.
Oh, dude, I should have had you bring me some over. That's my favorite right there.
Yeah, I'm going to be making more.
Good, good. I'm coming over then. Fuck everyone else.
Whoa.
Anyways.
John's peach cobbler.
Damn right. That's my peach cobbler, goddammit.
It cracks me up how much, because we always put so much emphasis on good desserts, but then everybody always eats so much regular food and the desserts are just left there sitting because everyone's so stuffed, you know? It's like, that's funny.
Oh, Lord. Now that we've kind of gone way off subject, we're going to get right on to the tractor. And want to give a special shout out to Obey Jess, who just joined us in the chat room. And Jess,
Hi, Jess.
Hi, Jess. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. That platter you posted looked really good, so I hope it was very enjoyable for you, and hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Yeah, and hope everybody else who's listening right now or will be listening later when the podcast publishes to the platforms, hope you all had a great one. Got the time to spend with your loved ones, or even just had nice time away from whatever it is you want to get away from. So, without any further ado, Ado, thank you. I still can't talk, so we're going to get right into our bonus episode of the Survivor Series predictions. As of our recording, we've only got 5 matches on the card so far. There could be a chance I could possibly see them adding another match or two. That just seems a little short for one of their 4 major events of the year. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I saw earlier this morning, I read that they're maybe going to be adding a Bray Wyatt match.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if we end up seeing maybe Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight, which I think would be
It'd be a killer match.
Be a great one to finally get going after their promos recently. So, but yeah, why don't we just go ahead and go over the established card right now? Why don't we go ahead and start off with the SmackDown Women's Championship? Defending champion Ronda Rousey is going to defend it against Shotzi. Why don't we start off with Heather, what her thoughts are for this match?
I see Ronda Rousey keeping the title.
That's
I
it?
just don't see. Yeah, I wasn't done. I wasn't done.
Sorry.
Sergeant Slaughter's on the way, John. Watch out.
Yeah, well, I'm already trying to poke the bear early, so I figured with all 4 of us, I got at least 2 of you to hide behind. So,
But I was just saying, I see Ronda Rousey keeping the title because I just don't see them making her give it up this soon after she just got it back. Shotzi's a good wrestler and all, but I just don't see her having the title right now.
yeah, I have to actually agree with that point. Carlos, let's get your thoughts.
You know, when this match first got booked, I just know a lot of people were kind of shitting on it, Shotzi, blah, blah, blah. But I'm excited for her. You know, I agree with Heather. I think Shotzi's going to win. I mean, I think Ronda's going to win. But why not? You know, when you got a card you already got the War Games anchoring this card. You know, why not take a chance and give someone a chance to shine and build up a new star? You know, so I definitely think Ronda's going to lose, but I definitely think Shotzi's going to show out and show what she has. To offer. She's a good wrestler, and I look forward to her putting on a good show with Ronda. I definitely think Ronda wins, and I hope Ronda beats her fair and square. I don't want to see Shayna Baszler have to help Ronda. Let Ronda be the badass that wins eventually, clean and clear. But I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully seeing a new star be built in Shotzi.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as them. I really, really am starting to appreciate them making the effort with Shotzi. Kind of give her a chance to show out more, show more of her talent. I think this is actually a very proper booking. I do think that Ronda is going to retain. I do believe that it's not quite her time yet to hold the main gold, but I do think it's in her future.
Yeah, I don't know. In some ways, I appreciate the fact they're finally shining Shotzi. I just think the shitty booking for her for the last few months has kind of affected her momentum a little bit. I think maybe Shotzi was just not right at this moment. As you said, I'm glad they're finally using her. However, I think a slow build to her being possibly someone who could take the championship off Ronda.
Yeah, this was kind of just thrown in.
Yeah.
So.
And the way they booked Shotzi in that match with Shayna Baszler, what was it, last week's SmackDown?
Yeah.
It didn't really do Shotzi any justice. Heather and I touched base on that on the last week's episode. And yeah, I don't think Shotzi needs somebody in her corner. She's good enough to do things on her own. Shayna doesn't really need Ronda at ringside either. Shayna can do things on her own. I feel they kind of made the woman look like shit on this one. I'm sorry. I'll say it for what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't here for that last episode, which sucked because I had a lot to say. But, no, that match was just terrible.
Yeah.
There was no point to it.
It really didn't do either side any justice.
No.
But I'm hoping Ronda and Shotzi give it a good go tomorrow night. I think they can have a decent match. Ronda's in-ring skills getting much better. Still probably needs a better mouthpiece for her, like a Paul Heyman or, as I think it was either Carlos or Heather mentioned, Dan Lambert possibly.
Yeah, it was me, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I knew one of you said it, I just can't remember. But yeah, I think definitely the MMA ladies need a mouthpiece because their mic... Shayna's is maybe a little bit better on the mic, but Ronda is just still terrible. She's too quiet. She doesn't feel like she has much meaning. Her in-ring skill probably says more about the storyline than her voice does.
That and when she digs into it, really, she kind of oversells it.
Yeah, like she's trying too hard.
Yeah,
I agree.
It makes it hard to be believable.
Yeah. All right, why don't we go on to the next match? This one is supposed to be the one that ends the feud, but I'm gonna say I highly doubt it. We're gonna see AJ Styles against Finn Balor, and this time we're actually gonna start off with Carlos.
I want to, I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna end the feud at all. I think they're still gonna fight. I would have rather seen a first of all, for this feud, I'd rather have seen a 4-on-4 traditional Survivor Series match with these two factions. I think that would have been perfect. I think Rhea could have eliminated Maya Yim. They could have had one of the boys eliminate Rhea, and I think they could have tied it all up with this faction having a 4-on-4 traditional Survivor Series match. So I think they booked this match wrong altogether. But in this match, I want to see Finn Balor win, especially with Triple H being in charge now and it being his regime. And again, if you want Judgment Day to be a strong faction, I think they have more behind Judgment Day than they do the OC, especially with, Dominic attacking his dad yesterday at Thanksgiving, which was a cool thing. I thought that was really neat. I see Finn Balor winning because also I want to see Finn Balor get a proper title run. So I'm rooting for Finn Balor, and I think he takes the win tomorrow.
All right, Heather.
I could agree with Carlos. It should have been 4-on-4. I think that would have been a good match right there. But I'm hoping that AJ Styles wins because I think he needs a win, and I don't like Finn Balor, so I said it, yes. But yes, I agree that it should have been 4-on-4. Yeah, I agree it should have been a 4-on-4 match. That would have been better for me.
Right?
Well, are you saying Heather and Carlos, are you thinking that Rhea and Mia Yim should have been in this match?
Yeah, I mean, to end the feud properly, because again, it's not gonna, them being in War Games is gonna end the feud. They should have been in this thing. Yeah, you could have Rhea eliminating Mia Yim, and then have one of the guys pin Rhea with the roll up or something. That way, you got that little bit of that tease of her fighting the boys, which they've been teasing, her getting interfering so much. I think it would have been a proper send off for this feud to have a 4-on-4 traditional Survivor Series match with the 4 of them. Yes.
All right. Well, yeah, I can go with that. I mean, as much as Rhea's been getting involved with the boys, like you mentioned.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think turnabout's fair play finally.
Yep.
Hey. I'm in agreement with a lot of what's already been said. I do think that they're actually going to go with AJ Styles on this one. It's going to be interesting because I don't know if you read or not into what's going on with Gallows and Anderson. They're going to be heading over to New Japan soon.
Well, I think Carl Anderson's still the never open
Openweight champion. Never open weight.
God, I can never pronounce that damn championship right. I got so many weird off the shit titles ever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What the hell is never open weight, anyways?
Who knows?
Jesus, I swear. Anyways,
a good bong rip one day, and they decided on that championship.
Yeah, well, as long as they, I mean, at least they're staffed to have enough champions there. So we'll just say that.
Yeah.
I'm not taking a dig at a certain promotion on that, but
You get a belt.
yeah, no shit. I mean, I got plenty here in this wrestling room they can borrow if they want to keep going, but anyhow, yeah, this one I don't know. Like I said, I don't see this feud ending, but like Will mentioned, if the Good Brothers are going to end up going to New Japan to work a few dates for their contracts, then yeah,
It just kind of throws a wrench in it.
yeah, maybe it does kind of end the feud temporarily.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a feeling we might possibly see Edge come into play tomorrow night too. I mean, it's been almost 2 months now.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since we've seen him, so I wouldn't be surprised if you're right about that.
Yeah, I mean, eventually we might end up seeing both Edge and Beth Phoenix come back and whoop the shit on Judgment Day. Who knows? I think we're kind of split because I think you said AJ Styles.
I did.
Carlos.
I'm the only one that said Finn Balor. I just said Finn by myself. Yeah.
And Heather went with AJ. I'm kind of with Carlos on this. I think Finn Balor gets the win and gets the momentum going for Judgment Day. So I can already hear Heather screaming through her phone. Anyways, we're going to go to the next match for the triple threat for the WWE United States Championship match. Seth freaking Rollins is going to defend against Bobby Lashley and Austin Theory, and Will's already holding his bridge of his nose, so why don't we start with Will on this one?
I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I'm not really looking forward to this match. I do think Seth Rollins is going to continue to retain that title for quite a while.
I'm not sure, but I do have some thoughts, but I'll wait. Why don't we go to Heather next?
I think Seth is going to retain. I think it's going to be some kind of interference. Not interference, I'm sorry. But Bobby and Austin are going to end up just beating the hell out of each other. It's going to probably end up some kind of disqualification. And Seth is going to end up retaining because Bobby and Austin Theory hate each other and they just want to beat the hell out of each other. So I think it's going to end up being some kind of disqualification or something like that. And Seth is going to retain.
Oh, dear. I hate to kind of break it to you. In triple threat matches, there is no disqualifications.
Oh, well, shit. Excuse me.
Oh, shit. I poked the bear. I better go on mute.
I'm sorry. It's going to be something crazy happen because I know that Bobby and Austin Theory hate each other. And it's just going to be something crazy between them. And I'm just saying Seth is going to retain. And excuse me for not knowing.
I wasn't trying to, condescend or anything. I was just trying to point out in triple threat there's usually no disqualification.
I think she was on the right path, though. I think the distraction is going to be the focal point between those two.
Yeah, I'm right there. I think Bobby and Theory will be so focused on each other they'll forget that Seth's in the match, and
Seth's the architect.
I don't know. It could end up being like one of those guys hits their finisher, Seth throws the other out of the ring, and Seth gets the pin, or the curb stomp in the win.
Mm-hmm. I see the curb stomp being it.
I see the curb stomp being in there too. So who knows? It might be.
Yeah, because just what I was meaning was like William said, they're going to be focused on each other, and then they're going to forget about Seth, and Seth is going to come up on them, sneak in, and he's going to get the win.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you play the triple threat rules just right, I mean, look what happened on Full Gear with the triple threat for the TNT Championship. You know, you had Wardlow doing the Powerbomb Symphony to Powerhouse Hobbs, and he apparently forgot about Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe whacks him with the TNT Championship and gets the
Karabuta.
Thank you. Clutch on, Will Hobbs, and Hobbs already passed out, and, Samoa Joe became new champion. We could see a similar situation. I hope not, because then, that whole divisiveness between the AEW and WWE fans are going to sit there and go, oh, they copied off each other. Yeah, shut the fuck up. We don't care. Anyway. I have a little bit of an attitude today. I don't know if it's because I'm off for work or who knows. So I might be in rare form today. Anywho, yeah. So let's go on to the women's War Games.
Do you want me to give my thought or no?
Oh shit! Did I forget you, Carlos?
Yeah, you definitely forgot Carlos.
Damn it!
Wow. Okay. Wow,
I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. No, go ahead, Carlos.
Man. Wow. All right.
I'm a bad monkey.
Slap. So for me, like, I'm gonna put on my IWC Booker hat available on shopaew.com really quick. For me, I don't like this match at all. I don't think it's doing anything for anybody. If I was booking these three guys for Survivor Series, I would have had Seth versus Gunther as your traditional brand match. And I would have had Seth go over Gunther because, again, if you're trying to build him as a babyface, why not have him go over on a Great Hill champion and have him win? That would have been more for what they want for his character, I believe, than this match. And then as far as Theory and Lashley goes, I would have had them in a 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match against SmackDown. I would have had Austin Theory be the lone survivor. So again, you're building him back up as this badass heel. So to me, like that, this match is doing nothing. I feel like for anything that they're trying to accomplish with these guys, I feel like it's a clusterfuck. I'm not looking. I mean, I know it's gonna be a good match, but I definitely think Rollins retains. But again, I just don't like the match at all. I'm not a fan of it.
Do you kind of feel like it was like lazy booking in a way?
Exactly, and it's just, and again, like even like back to Raw, and we'll talk about it on Sunday, but it's like you had Rollins kind of give a heelish promo, mentioning hurting Cody when you're trying to build him as a face. It just makes no sense. Makes no sense what's going on. It's lazy booking, and they should have just went in a tradition again. Try to bring some tradition back. Have Seth versus Gunther in a traditional, the Raw versus SmackDown match, and then have they should have those guys in the 5-on-5. It would have been better. I think would have been a lot better match and a lot better card. Period. I think it is total lazy booking.
All right. I think add Ali in at the last minute so you can take the pin. That's probably what's going to happen. Yeah, I understand that thought. The only thing I would worry about is if they would have done the traditional brand versus brand. I don't know if they would have wanted Gunther to lose that because they're trying to establish him as the most dominant intercontinental champion ever.
And I get that, and I get that. But at the same time, that's been the cool thing. That's like Survivor Series is one of my favorite. It's always been one of my favorite pay-per-views because of the traditional matches. But then it was these last few years. It's been because we got those matches. And it's like, oh my gosh, who's gonna win? And there always was a winner and loser. So I think sometimes you just got to take those, and they can still build them back up. As long again, it's Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah. Well, totally understandable.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the women's War Games match. And I apologize, Carlos.
It's all good.
I feel like an ass now. But anyways,
this is what the game's coming to.
The COVID's still affecting my brain. That's the problem.
Just kicked him off the card.
Yeah. Oh, whatever.
The pre-show. The pre-show.
Yeah, shit. All right, let's go ahead. Like I said, let's get into the Women's War Games match. We have Damage Control along with Rhea Ripley and Nikki Cross going up against Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Mia Yim, and a fifth member to be announced tonight on SmackDown. And yes, for those of you that heard that right, we still don't know the fifth yet. And as of this recording, we obviously recorded before SmackDown, so you're probably listening to this after SmackDown. Just mind your business, okay? So, anyways, first thought, let's get into who we think could be the possible fifth member.
You're a little peppy today, you know that?
I am. That's what happens when you get 2 days
Remember,
off.
John, we're trying to build up our listeners, John. We're trying to build them up, not lose them.
Hell yeah. I'm going to rile this crowd up. We're known as Wrestling Fans Insight, damn it. We're going to get it going. So, why don't we go ahead and start with Heather. Heather, first off, who do you think ends up being the fifth member for Team Belair, and who ends up the victor out of this?
For the fifth member, I'm thinking it's either Naomi or Sasha Banks. Is who I'm thinking. More likely Sasha Banks, since the Survivor Series is in Boston. That's what I'm thinking, and I'm hoping and praying that Bianca, Alexa, Asuka, Mia Yim, and whoever the fifth member wins. Because I cannot stand the Damage Control, Nikki Cross or Rhea Ripley, the way they've been doing and coming in there. And Bianca, Alexa, Asuka, and Mia Yim have been looking strong. Well, except for Alexa, like I heard them say that she just doesn't look like herself, and she hasn't been looking right. And then, like they've been seeing Bray Wyatt's symbol behind her and stuff. So I really don't know about what's going on with Alexa, but I'm hoping they win.
All right, Carlos.
Well, in our group chat, I already told again, I'm the guy who wants everything. I want to see Sasha, Naomi, and Becky all up in this match somehow. I want to see Alexa attack Bianca before the match, but I don't know. Honestly, this is the one match it's hard for me because I'm really not invested, if I'm being honest, because I just really don't care. They haven't really built these people. They haven't really built Damage Control up to be a powerhouse. Bianca's already beat Bayley twice, so I really don't care, honestly. And again, I feel like Asuka and Alexa are just going through the motions. I just don't feel like anyone. I don't really feel connected to this match. I'm really bored with it. And so for me, I guess I don't know who's gonna win. I think Damage Control needs it because again, if they lose again, what's the point? But I don't really see the point of bringing. Excuse me a second. I don't see the point of bringing in some big fifth surprise member and losing either. So again, it's a toss up. I think it's gonna be Becky Lynch, unless for some reason it is Sasha. And I think Alexa is going to turn on Bayley at the end because Alexa's going to turn on Bianca in the end because Bianca's going to need someone to feud up until WrestleMania until she feuds with Charlotte. So I think Alexa at the end does turn on the team and that Damage Control wins. That's what I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same wavelength as Carlos on this one. I do think it's going to be Becky Lynch. But I do believe that Damage Control, that team, is going to be the victors for the night.
All right. Yeah, I'm kind of with Heather a little bit. I'm thinking there's a possibility it could be one of the two former WWE Tag Team Champions. I'm kind of heavily favoring for Sasha Banks. The only reason I have stood solid for Sasha Banks is because Survivor Series is going to be in Boston. That's pretty much a no-brainer, being Sasha Banks' pretty much hometown right there. So,
and you never know, because my thoughts about it was that the match ends, but Sasha Banks makes her appearance, her arrival.
Yeah.
And takes out one of the champions.
Or who knows, maybe she can come in after the SmackDown Women's Championship match and confront Ronda Rousey.
Yep.
There could be a possibility we could see a Rousey and Banks match too for
Yeah, I do.
championship.
I do think we are going to see
I like
Sasha.
that.
Yeah. So, but as far as my prediction for the fifth member, I'm seeing Sasha Banks maybe being the more than likely the fifth member. But however, I have to say I think the victory is going to go to Damage Control, Rhea Ripley, and Nikki Cross.
Yep.
I see the heels winning this one big time. And we're going to go to the very last match I have listed here. It's going to be one of Heather's all-time favorites. For the men's War Games matches, we got the Bloodline and Sami Zayn going up against the Brawling Brutes, Sheamus, Ridge Holland, Butch, or Pete Dunne, sorry, Bruiserweight. That's my name for him forever. And they're going to also be accompanied by Drew McIntyre and the prize fighter Kevin Owens. And this time, before I forget him, let's go to Carlos.
All right, this match, I want to. My heart says Bloodline, but my brain says the Brawling Brutes and Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre, just because I don't really see two heel teams winning both War Games. So with that kind of logic booking, I give it to them. And honestly, like as much as I get staying, I love Sami Zayn with the Bloodline, but I think it is time to start laying those seeds for something. For a breakup, and I would love to see it end up where Roman, again in my dream scenario, my IWC Booker hat on again from shopaew.com. I would like to see Roman, defend both titles at Survivor Royal Rumble. Get a storyline to where he defends the, gives Drew a rematch for the Universal title at Rumble, and he defends the WWE title against Kevin Owens at Royal Rumble, and he loses the WWE title to Kevin Owens. Then maybe a month later, Sammy's involved in all this, and somehow helps him, or is torn. Then maybe at Elimination Chamber, Kevin Owens loses the title to someone else who, who defends it against maybe it's Rollins who defends it against Cody at WrestleMania. And the Usos get the revenge, comeuppance, and then that's how we get to Owens and Rollins. I mean, we get to Sami and Owens versus the Usos at WrestleMania. There's lots of different ways they could go with it, but again, for me, I really want to see those belts change. I want to see something happen with those titles before WrestleMania. But I definitely, I definitely see the faces getting the win in this.
Here's an interesting scenario I just thought of, not to get off the Survivor Series topic, but I could almost see them doing like a Bret Hart and Lex Luger finish at Royal Rumble. Have two winners. And
have them defend both titles.
And, well, maybe not necessarily defend both titles, but they have a coin toss between the two winners, and whoever wins the coin toss gets to decide which title they go after, and the other gets to go for the championship the winner doesn't choose. So
I'm down for that. Yeah, I mean something.
Or it could be like when Kurt Angle was the European and Intercontinental Champion, just like you mentioned, and the first fall goes to the one belt, and the other fall goes to the other belt. So there could be that possibility too. Anyhow,
yeah. So I'd like to see that kind of action. That again, you see that kind of physicality between those guys that would warrant that match at Royal Rumble. I think would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting. But let's get back on track. Heather, we're interested to hear your thoughts on this one.
Excuse me. I'm saying Brawling Brutes, KO, and Drew McIntyre are going to win because, my feelings on the Bloodline. But anyway, I think the Brawling Brutes and KO and Drew McIntyre have been really showing how strong they are. In the last couple of shows that they've been on, and especially with KO and the way he was talking about how he has unfinished business, with Roman. I just see them as a strong team. And I saw somewhere where Roman is where they're gonna turn on Sami Zayn, and then KO is gonna come to his defense, and it's just gonna be where they're gonna be the stronger team, and they're gonna take out the Bloodline.
Whoa, what was that?
I'm not sure what that was. That sounded like a car taking off.
Oh,
It was a truck outside taking off. I'm sorry.
There you go.
I thought it was maybe mine or Will's stomach there for a minute. There, I'm like,
Well, sir, I ate.
no, okay.
That was on the way to open a can of whoop ass on John.
Here we go.
Okay, so I am rooting for the faces, and I'll apologize to Heather ahead of time. I do think we're going to see some shenanigans where, with Sammy, it's going to start entertaining the idea of Sammy making the turn. But I do think Bloodline comes out the victors on this one.
I'm kind of a little bit different on that view. I think where Jay and Sammy have been having their issues as of late, I think they're going to eventually get to the point where I think Sammy might be the one who ends up losing it for the Bloodline. And Jay will finally get the rest of the Bloodline to help attack Sammy after the loss. And I do agree the faces will win this just because of that fact. Because the Jay and Sammy, there's so much animosity coming from Jay on this that he's finally had enough and he wants to get rid of the weak link, which obviously is Sami Zayn. So, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for our views on Survivor Series, unless any of you two have anything else you want to throw in. Heather, do you have anything else?
No, I don't have anything else. Just like I'm hoping the Bloodline goes down and Braun Brutes win, and I'm hoping Bianca and Alexa come out on top. And that's really all I've got to say.
Are you hoping for at least another match or two on this card?
Yes, I am. I really hope they do put some more on there because it's kind of slim right now.
All right. And what match are you hoping for, at least if they do come up with one?
Don't put me on the spot like that.
Wow. Wow. Little Miss Sassity here.
I don't know, just a couple more matches. I don't really care. I just want to see some matches.
All right. Carlos, do you have any other matches you would like to see on this card?
Yeah, I would like to see Wyatt. I think it's it's time for him to wrestle. I'd like to see Wyatt and LA Knight, and I would like to see a traditional 5-on-5 match. Raw versus SmackDown. Why not? They could just throw some people together, give it to us.
Yeah, I mean, the booking on all the companies have been like that lately. Why not throw in at least one match in there, even if it's a shit one? Let's see something.
They still got plenty of people that aren't booked for the card yet.
Yeah. William?
I agree with Carlos. I'm sorry. Carlos, I agree with him for Bray and LA Knight. That would be a good match right there.
All right. William?
No, I don't have anything else.
Nothing else?
No.
All right. Yeah, I'm polling for a Wyatt and LA Knight match. I think that one might be an obvious setup for at least one more, but like Carlos said, I wouldn't mind seeing at least one more match, and that being a traditional Survivor Series. And who knows, that might get announced on SmackDown tonight. My guess is they'll probably throw more of the tag teams in that one, if anything, like 2 tag teams on each side of the ring. But I would like to see a traditional 5-on-5. And I'm hoping maybe next year they'll implement SmackDown, Raw, and NXT, because I actually enjoyed it when they did that the one year and they had NXT be the dominant brand. Other than that, yeah, I've got nothing else. If nobody else has anything else, we'll just go ahead and get to our credits. And first, I want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in and listened live here on Twitter Space. And for those of you who are actually going to listen on the podcast a little bit later here shortly. And want to thank Libsyn.com for hosting our podcast. Without them, we wouldn't be on every platform. So, very big shout out to Libsyn. Also, thank you to Pixabay.com, where we download our royalty-free music. And you can catch us on all other types of platforms. We're on Facebook. If you go to the groups, The Fans of Pro Wrestling, we have our webpage, thefansofprowrestling.com. And all of us are on Twitter. Heather, you want to give your Twitter handle first?
It's Bamagirl underscore underscore number 4 underscore EVA, Bamagirl forever.
Carlos?
No, roll tide, bitches. What the heck?
Oh yeah, we got the Iron Bowl tomorrow. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
There she is. All right. C to the LOS 70, C to the LOS 77, and then my nonprofit is Conquer the No.
William?
Yeah, mine's super creative. It's William Hoppe, HOPPE 8.
That's probably the most basic one. And our podcast here has a Twitter account, WF Insight Podcast, or you can talk to me on my personal one at John, JOHN, WF Insight. You can all reach us all on Twitter or any of the other platforms. We also have an interactive voicemail, area code 385-367-4772. And Heather, do you want to give any shout outs while we're at it?
Of course, to Obey Jess, because she's always here to listen to us. Ted Hill, the Hillbilly Hill, the Hill Truth, Wrestling with the Truth podcast, Ben Ballard. Is that not his name?
Hill Ballard?
No. What's his name? Ben Ballard.
Hill Ballard.
Yeah. And NWO Machine, Vader from Wish, and that's all I can come up with right now because my brain's not working.
Welcome to my world. Hey, Carlos, how about your shout-outs?
Definitely give a shout-out to Brian Atkins, and then Patrick Morrison, Patty Magic 86, Rock, and R, and then Sarah Execution 84.
Will, do you have any shout-outs?
No, I've been bad about it. I'll work on it.
All right. Well, I want to give a shout out to the Chime In podcast, Today We Laughed and Learned podcast, Wrestling World from Austin Boyer, shout out to the 8750 podcast hosted by Yeti Yef. Also want to give a shout out to the Fan in the Van podcast and Augusto All Elite podcast. With that being said, our shout outs are done, credits are done. And you can listen to us on all major platforms like I mentioned earlier. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast. We have a YouTube channel. Just find us as the Wrestling Fans Insight. We're also on Deezer, Ghana, Rezo, Boomplay, and on the Good Pods app, which we recently got our newer rankings. We ended up, I can't remember now. I'm going to look them up right here. But Good Pods, we actually were featured on their podcast recommendations the other day, which I felt that was a very high honor getting on that. That's very awesome for the main platform to actually recommend a small podcast like us for that. And our rankings, as of this week, we were number 6 in the top 100 indie wrestling chart, number 8 in the top 100 wrestling chart, and number 14 in the top 100 indie sports charts. So we've been getting really good rankings, and we can't do that without all you listeners. So thank you for everyone who tunes in and listens to us, and thank you for everyone who has listened to us on Twitter Space, even through your PCs or MacBooks, whatever you're listening to on. And that's going to be it. We will be back again this Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, to do our normal format. Remember, Survivor Series is tomorrow night, Saturday, and we have SmackDown, WWE SmackDown tonight, and Friday night AEW Rampage.
Yep. At about 4 o'clock. Yeah. 4 o'clock Eastern.
About 20 minutes here, so from our third time we're recording. So, anyways, you all take care. Hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you have a great weekend. We'll catch you again on Sunday.